So hello, once again welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today in this video we're going to solve the problem of the day of the lead code, that is find the maximum number of elements in subset. So let me walk you through the problem statement first. So here in this question we are given a positive integer array nums, and we need to select a subset of the nums, right, that which satisfy the following conditions. So here you can place the selected elements in zero indexed array such that it follows the pattern. And if you want to follow this particular pattern, and means this k is nothing but a here non-negative power of 2, and this is the example given to us, right? So now what I'll do, I'll take you to my whiteboard and explain you the question, right? So here we need to follow this pattern. So firstly understand this pattern, right? So this is nothing but a see, powers are your power of 2. The power of x is a power of 2. You can see initially 0, 2, 4, then 16, 4 into 4, then 16 into 16, right? So this is your power of 2. And here means you need to create this pattern. Whenever you are given an array, you need to select some of the elements from the array. Basically, you need to select a subset of the array which follow this pattern, right? It makes sense. So what you need to do, see, and length of your selected subset is always odd. Why? Because see, here you are increasing, right? At one point, this is your one point where you start, this is your peak point, I can say this is your peak point, and from here you will start decreasing, right? So this is climbing up, and this is going down, right? So I hope this pattern is clear. Now important thing is constraints. So here constraint says the length of n can go up till 10 raised to 5, and the nums of I is 10 raised to 9. So these both thing is very important for us, right? So what we can do, see, here what I'll do, I'll assume the value of x to be 2. Okay, so if I assume the x to be 2, what all I can have a pattern. If I start from 2, if I'm assuming x is equal to 2, so which pattern I can make or create from this 2. So 2 number 1 is, then 2 into 2 is 4, 4 into 4 16, 16 into 16 256, 256 into 256 this particular value, and this into this is nothing but this. So here you can see that this is a 9 digit number, 10 digit number, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10, right? So I guess after this you will your integer value would be greater than your nums of I, and that will never ever be there in your array, right? So what it means, see, understand, you don't need to loop means till very end. You need to just look for the, you can see, you can count the number of elements here, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and at max let's say 7, right? So for x is equal to 2, you just need to iterate for 7 times, right? For x is equal to 3, it would be less. Why? Because for x is equal to 2, if it is 7, then obviously for x is equal to 3 would be lesser only. Similarly, you will go, but till where? There should be one threshold point where you need to stop, right? So here I am assuming that at x is equal to 1, means 1e5 means 10 raised to 5, you just put x is equal to 10 raised to 5. Then what will be your second value? So 10 raised to 5 to 10 raised to 5, it would be 10 raised to 10, and 10 raised to 10 is nothing but exceeding my limit of this particular nums of I, any element's value, right? It can never be exceeds this particular value 10 raised to 9, right? So 10 raised to 9 is far more, right? So you need to stop here. I hope you understood, right? You, even though they have mentioned in the constraint that x is nums of I can go up till 10 raised to 9, still you will not go, because it is of no meaning, it is of no use. Why should we go and for every and check for everything? We know that at x is equal to 1e5, your answer is only 1e5, means there could be not be any other element than 1e5. 1e5 into 1e5 is not possible, right? Because it exceeds the limit. So similarly, for any value that is greater than 1e5, even 1e5 is also very greater, right? Actually 1e 4.5, if you look at this, then 1e 4.5 into, if you multiply it by 2, then it will exactly give you 1e 9, right? But still it is decimal, so I am taking even more value of x. So I hope like it is clear to you, right? So this is a very important thing to understand in this question. Rest of the part is implementations. So once you like understand, once you have a clear idea, means what is this? I hope like this question is pretty much easy to solve. So now let's have a look at a code. So what I have done here is, see, initially I'll store my like all the elements along with its frequency in this map data structure. Okay, then what I'll do, I'll find the maximum element of this nums array that is given to me. It will help me. Why? Because it will tell me, okay, here I want to stop, here I need to stop. What if like your maximum range, you know that you will go up till this 1 but what if your like maxi is like max element is lesser even than that, so you should not go, right? So that is why what I have done, I have like find out the meaning or minimum of any of these, and I'll loop through till that point only, right? So initially like I'm initializing my number as a I. You can also like put it as a X, but here I have like name it num. So you can also like name X. It is your choice, right? Whatever you wish to. So then after my counter is initially 0. Counter is nothing but a numbers of element. So initially there are no elements, I am assuming, right? So if this I is already present inside the map, then my I would, this counter would increase. If I is present in the map, this counter will increase its value, right? So what I'll do, see, here the number, and I know that number should not exceed a 1 If number exceeds, you need to break out of loop, because there is no such number in the array that is greater than 1 because of constraint, right? I can see this by looking at a constraint. So I hope like this is clear, right? Condition is. Now what I'll do, I'll first of all find the value, whether number is present or not. If number is present, now this is very important. You just now understand here. See, initially let me just take this particular array right over here. So here is the array and I'll simply just paste it. What is this? Okay, no issue. So here is my array, right? So what do we do initially? See, I'm starting from 2. From where I'm starting from 2, right? So I'll see whether 2 is present or not. Yes, 2 is present. And what is frequency? Its frequency is 2. No problem. So this will not come over here, right? So what it means? It will come in this else part, right? And it says, okay, I'll increase my counter is equal to counter plus 2. So here initially let's say my counter was 0, but now it got 2, right? Now this will not execute, and again it will do what? Do 2. So initially number was 2. Now 2 into 2 is nothing but a 4. So it will get 4, right? So number is like now 4. Okay, no problem. Now I'll see map.find 4. Is 4 there? Yes, it is there. Very good. So what is frequency? You just tell me the frequency. So its frequency is like 1. Its frequency is not like more. Okay, no problem. So what I'll do, you just see that here up till now, what is the like state of my array. So my array looks like this. See, 2 and 2. 2 is less. What I'll do, I'm always looking for 2 frequency. Means I want element like at least its frequency should be 2, right? So I know that the frequency of 2 is 2 and the frequency of 4 is 1, right? So frequency of 4 is 1. That is why what I'll do, I'll simply increment the counter and I'll simply break out of loop. This is very important. Why? See, because if you had the frequency of 4 greater than 1, means let's say 2, so you would have like put the value like this. See, 4 over here and 4 over here, and you would essentially looking for a value now next to the 4, right? You would essentially looking for the value that is next to 4. So what I mean is, see, if even it means frequency of 4 is not 1, it is 2, right? So here you will increment its counter, means your counter will get what? 4, and this is your array. But here they have said that the frequency of 4 is only 1. Means 1 means, see, you always want any element's frequency 2. Why? Because one should be like in increasing path and another should be in decreasing path. So you want both of them. But if you have only 1, means that is your peak point. I hope you it is clear, right? If you have frequency of any element that is currently in the running, that is currently in running fashion, so 2 after there is a 4 after there is a 16, right? But 4 is like only 1, so it is peak. So you can never have go to the, even if there is a 16, even if there is a 16 to 16, and even if they are present multiple times, means their occurrence is in the array is more than one, still you would not consider it. Why? Because 4 is present only once, 4 appear only once in the array, so that is peak, and you will come out of loop, right? So that is why what I have done here, if frequency counter of any value that is a present in the array is 1, I'll simply increment my counter and break out of loop. So this how your size of the array is nothing but a 3, and it is indeed 3. You can see that 2 4 2, right? So this how we can do this. So I hope at least this part is clear, right? At least this part is clear. Now I also explain you this else portion. After this if statement, I'll also explain the else portion, right? So what else portion says, now just assume that, see here you have this state, your array is like this. So let me just update it. Okay, the array is look like this, right? So now what we will do, so here you can see that you will not never, means you will not encounter, like you will not come this into this condition, you will directly execute this, right? So what you will do, will simply say okay, 4 is coming 2 times, yes it is coming 2 times, so this is my array, right? Currently this is my final, so count is 4. Okay, now I am looking for 8, I am looking for 8. Sorry, not a 8. 4 into 4 is 16. So I am looking for 16. So is 16 present or not? No, it is not present. What it means? What it means? See, 16 is not present. And I told you that your array is always of odd length. Your final array means that you are trying to build is always of odd length, right? But here you can see that over here you have always incremented your counter by 2, and if you increment your counter by 2, you have to like subtract it by 1. Why? Because it would be of even length, right? If you don't like, if you don't subtract your counter by 1, if you do not pop out one element from the array, your final array, right, it would be of even length, and that you don't want, right? So that is why I am like decrementing the counter. So what I am basically doing over here, I'm just removing this 1 4, I'm just removing this 1 4, right? So that's how I can do like this. So that is why I have like put else statement over here, and this is the logic inside it, right? So and simply I'll break out of loop. So I hope like this entire while loop is clear, right? Still it is like okay, still you need to like understand some more thing. Why? Because like see, you don't believe I didn't like write this condition initially when I submitted this code for the first time, and I saw that it was like giving me a wrong answer in some of the test cases. Then I understood, and when I dry run and I means with pen and paper, and I saw that okay, means this different test kit are also possible. So due to that, I have like put these conditions, and after that when I like submitted my code, it got accepted. So I'll explain you why this is important, right? So you just need to have a look at a, let's say, what I can say. Okay, okay, yes. So here the number is like long, right? So range of long is far beyond. It means far beyond the far away from the, what we can say, integer, normal integer data type, right? So long can hold a large number, right? So it means, for an example, let's say you exceed the limit. So let me take the example of this particular value, right? So this, I guess it is exceeded the value, right? So once if you are like over here, so let's say you have a 2 4 16 256 also present, and all of their frequencies are twice. So let's say till here 0 1 2 3 and 4, so till here the frequency of all the element in the array is at least 2. So it means what you will do, you will simply, when you multiply this into this, see when you multiply this value again with this, you would end up with this, right? And once you end up with this, it means it is greater than 1e9, and if it is greater than 1e9, see essentially you should like execute this loop, right? Why? Because it was like always incremented 2 times, or it always get in like incremented by 2. But due to this condition, you fall out of loop, right? So that is why what you will do, if the counter is even, if the counter is even, you know that your length is always odd, That is why you decrement it by 1, and finally you have to compare it with the maximum, because you want your answer final array length to be maximized, right, as much as possible. So that is why I have like written over here this thing. And then finally what I'll do means, my once my loops get complete this for loop, then I'm over here, right? Now this is also important. See, we are, I hope like over till here it is, everything is clear, right? Until here everything is like clear. So now I'll explain you this. See, here I'm counting number of ones. Here I'm counting number of ones. If you have a 1, you have no other ways. Why? Because you cannot like here write I is equal to 1. You cannot start your loop I is equal to 1. Why? Because it will be infinite. You will like fall in this infinite loop, right? You will fall in this infinite loop and you will never end up. uh, so that is why we cannot like put I is equal to 1. I cannot start my I from 1. That is why I have handled the case this separately. Or we can also say there is an edge case, right? What if your all the values of the array is 1? In that case, what would you do? So that is why I have like handled it separately. And again, what I'll do, I have a maximum, right? I have a current maximum. What is the maximum? But still, if you see that occurrence of 1 is odd, so I'll simply say okay, T is my answer. But if occurrence of 1 is even, so I'll subtract it by 1, right? Because I always want the odd. So that is why. And whatever the value, I'll compare it just with the maximum, current maximum. So it will be like maximum, and finally I return it. So I hope like it is clear. Now let me just test the code, test the result. So yes, it is working. Now let me just submit it. So it is like running. Okay, so it indeed got accepted. So I hope this problem is clear. If we talk about the time complexity of this problem, so we can say it is a big O of n. Why? Because this loop will at most it will execute 7 or 8 times at most, right? Not more than that. So this is like constant, we can say. Now this is like 1e5. Why? Because maximum element is 1e5, right? So this will like execute at max 1e5 times. So this is how like you can solve the problem. And if we talk about the space complexity, so space complexity of big of n. Why? Because we are like making use of this unordered map, so it will take up a big of n complexity. So space complexity, so this is how like time complexity is big of n and space complexity is also big of n. So yes, this is the complexities discussion. Like if you still having any doubt, if you still have any question regarding this question, feel free to ask me in the comment. I'll try my best to resolve your queries, to resolve your questions. And if you are like new to my channel, I would encourage you to subscribe it, hit the bell icon, and share with your friends. Thank you.